Hey guys, it's Bob from the Board Game Rundown. I'm here with Kenny and Lee. They're the designers of Timelancers. They're going to give us a little bit of a demo. This is a game that's kind of in progress, but they're going to give us a quick little teach so we know what's going on here.
All right, so Timelancers, the theme of the game is that it's set in the 22nd century when time travel has been invented. However, not everyone can time travel, only certain people can. So they became freelance time travelers for the highest paying faction. So that's where Timelancers come from, they're freelance time travelers.
Nice.
So everyone, so everyone playing becomes a Timelancer. So you're going to be the green one, I'm the yellow, and Lee over there is going to be the red one. We also had the purple player set up just so that you can see all the pieces, so that would kind of be a normal thing, just to show the spread over there.
Sure.
Right now we're about in the middle of the game, about 3 or 4 rounds in, just to show you where you are, but normally these would all be blank and empty, and everything here would start in the middle on the central city tile.
Okay.
And basically the concept of the game is it's a set collection game where you're capturing events and putting them on your time machine, and you're going to earn points from the events, and you want to achieve faction goals. So your factions are going to tell you what events you need to capture. So obviously you have the green, red, blue, and yellow. Those associate with cultural, military, science, and social type events. On the top is what you're going to need to do. So in the game, you're either going to revise the event, which is going to be on the revise side, so it'll be the top side of the card, or you're going to, or the repeat side, I'm sorry. You're going to repeat the card, or the revise side on the bottom, so it'll be on the bottom side. And either way, when you capture it, you're going to put it in your time machine, but then you can either repeat it and put it on the time machine that way, or you can revise it and put it on the time machine that way. Depending on how you do that, at the end of the game, you'll get points. So you'll get 6 points for repeating it, or 7 points for revising it. Plus, if you meet your goals, which is just telling you to revise it, then you'll also get an extra 2 points for meeting that goal.
Okay.
Meeting the goals is also the way to start the end game. So the first player that completes all 4 end goals starts the end game. Everyone gets the same amount of turns. So I'm first player, this is the first player marker. If I start the end game, you're player 2, you would still go. Player 3 would still go, and then the game would end. If Lee started the end game as player 3, that'd be the end of the game. So it's always an equal number of turns.
And there's no extra turn once the game's been
No extra turn. Once it's done, it's done. So you always want to be on the lookout of what everyone's doing. That's why we have the goal markers. You can see his progress. So when he gets like 2 or 3, you're like, oh, he's getting close. I may need to do something about that.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So the main thing you're going to be doing in the game is you're going to have your meeple. So I am the yellow person. So this is Lawrence, I'm going to be moving around the city. This is Janusburg, this is the city of the future. And you're going to be moving your city or your meeple into the different city tiles. When you move to the different city tile, you'll take the action. So the game is played in rounds. Each round, each player takes 1 turn. On your turn, you can take up to 3 moves. On your character card, you have a move tracker to keep track of your moves. Early in the game, usually most players go 1, 2, 3 and do their stuff. However, later in the game, when it gets really heavy into it and you're like, oh, I got to think about this, it's good to have, okay, I'm on turn 2, now I'm going to think for a little bit and think about what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
So that it comes more into play later on in the game, usually.
More stuff starts kind of triggering and options.
It's going like that, and like, oh, suddenly something happened, or like, oh, okay, I get 1 more move, can I get anything? Let me think about it. You got to remember what move you're on. Okay? So you get 3 moves. Once you're done, then moves on to the next player. At the end of each round, once every player has taken a turn, then the enforcer will take actions and then also move around the city. So time travel is illegal in the future, so what you're doing is actually illegal, so the time enforcers are coming after you. So there are 2 different types of actions that can be taken by the enforcers. They can either flip a city tile when they get to it, because all the city tiles are double-sided, and they have a different action that you can take on each side. They're similar, but one is stronger than the other. But they are similar, or the enforcer may take a revise action. You might be thinking, well, what does that do? So remember when I was saying that you take your card and you can either repeat it or you revise it. When you repeat it and you put it in your time machine, nothing's happened. You left the timeline of history basically the same. You'll still get money, you'll get points, and you'll get abilities from the card. However, if you revise it, then you're going to cause a ripple effect in time. So when you revise the card, what you're going to look at is the type. So this is cultural, but they're also color-coded. So this is cultural, and you're going to look at the date. So this is 2560 BC. So every green card that comes after 2560 BC on everyone's time machine will rotate. So for example, if I just added this to my time machine as a revise, you'd end up having to rotate that baseball card to your other side.
Oh, wow.
So that will change it.
Yeah.
And because of that, say that I was meeting my end goal right now of this. If someone made this card revise, I am no longer meeting that end goal. So these are not permanent until you
can
meet
lose
all
them.
4.
Okay.
So while they're here, they can still be affected. That's why I was saying you got to keep track of what other players are doing. If you see Lee getting close or me getting close to ending it, you're like, well, let me revise this so that'll cause Kenny to have to take that off, and let's see if we can get. But if I get it to there, then these are locked, and then you can't affect me anymore.
Even if they change it later on, it's already over.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's how that would work. So the other thing that happens when you revise, not only do you cause a ripple effect on the cards, on everyone's timelines, but you will also cause the ripple effect in the city. So the tiles match up to the event types as well, but they're also color-coded. So you have the green, red, yellow, and blue. And then when you revise the color, so all the green tiles would then flip to the other side. So not only are you affecting the time machines, but you're also affecting the city of the future and changing the actions there. So on your time machine, if you're looking at your time machine, you have 9 actions that you can perform in your time machine. You're collecting resources there, you're taking actions here that are causing disruptions in time. The first 6 are where you're going to capture the events. So you'll capture ancient events using these actions, Middle Ages events using these actions, and modern events using these actions. These are other actions that I'll talk about in a second. But basically what these are is this symbol means to revise, so it syncs up with the card. So the line on the bottom means that it's to revise. This means to repeat, so it syncs up with the card, so it lines up, so this means to repeat. So if you want to repeat a ancient event, you have to take this action. So your player will come from Timelancer headquarters and come to this action, and then you will perform that action, and that's how you'll capture a card. So it's the same thing for all of these. You can choose any color, but it has to match up to the era. So if I was here, I'd have to do a card that has an A, or a card that has an A. If I took this action, it'd have to be a card that had an MA, or a card that had an MA. If I went here, it would be a modern card, so it would be modern or modern. So those are those first 6 that you're doing. The other things when you're taking actions in the time machine is you also have to pay a time gem cost. Time travel is not possible without the time gems. So the first thing you have to do when you land on the action is pay the cost. So above each of the actions is how much it costs. These are empty right now, but this would require 3 time gems. So these are the time gems. You'll get a time gem every time you go to Timelancer headquarters, plus they can be bought at the jeweler. But you'll have these time gems, you'll place them there, 1, 2, 3, then you can perform the action and capture the card. You can also buy upgrades to your time machine, kind of bling it out a little bit. You can add an upgrade, and that's a permanent time gem there. When you get the upgrade, you immediately add it to your time machine, and that makes the cost less. You can fill it up all the way, so you can end up making this not cost anything, but you can't go above that. So once it's full, it's full.
You have to choose any one you want to put it in?
You can put it anywhere you want, but you have to play it once you get it.
Okay.
You can have as many time gems as you have spots here, but there are only 20 that come in the game, and those are limited resources, so it's first come, first served. The other thing that you can get is when people are revising, you might be like, well, someone's revising, what if I got to do something about that? Well, we have time locks that you can get at the locksmith, and you'll get these, they look like that. You're going to add them to your little holding area, and then if someone were to cause your event to revise, and you don't want to rotate it, then you can turn in a time lock, and then you basically
leave it where it's at.
Yeah, but it's a one-time use, you turn it in. However, you can choose not to do that. These will also be worth points at the end of the game if you don't want to use it. It's better to use those more towards the end of the game because if someone flips it, you never know, it may flip back.
It can flip on its own.
So you may want to wait. So those are more like a wait till the end to see when you're really ready to make your final push to the end. The other thing you can do, say you don't have a time lock and your card rotated, you can come to this action and rotate one of your cards back to the other way. So you would take that action and rotate your card back. So you can fix that. In the traditional game, nothing would happen if you do that. In the advanced game, if you rotate it to revise, you'll actually cause the ripple event. This is this flip one city tile, same kind of thing. If someone causes us to flip, but you're like, all right, I really need 2 disguises, so I'm going to flip that and then go and get it, then you can do that. The last action is you can reserve an event. So all of these face-up cards are available to you when you're taking these actions. However, you have one spot on your character card that you can then reserve a spot, and you're the only person who can get that card. You don't get the money or the points or the abilities from it, but you're the only one who can get it. And then when you add it to it, then you have all that. You can have only one reserved at a time, but if you don't like this one, you change your mind, you can switch it out, put it at the bottom of the deck, and put a new one there. Correct. Okay, so that's your time machine. So when you get the card, just real quick overview. So the cost to get this is on the left-hand side. These are the resources. These are the resources. So when we say resources in the game, we're talking about these 6 items. And these are 3D printed right now, so it's just prototype. But you have the attaché case, the med kit, the weapon, the disguise, the camera, and the communicator. And they all match up. So attaché, med kit, weapon, disguise, communicator. So you would need to pay all of these to get this. So you pay the time gem cost, you pay this cost, and you play it in your time machine. All the events also have abilities. There are 2 types of abilities that each event could have. They could either have a constant ability, which is the infinity symbol, or they could have an action ability, which is the double down arrow. If it's an infinity action, then that means any action that you take in your time machine, you get that ability. So if you're down here and you're taking this action, you'll still pay 1 less time gem. So this action, this action, this action wouldn't cost you anything. You'd still pay 1 less time gem because it's an infinity action. If it's an action ability, then you'll get that when you perform that action. So when I come here, I'll pay my 3 time gems, then I'll trigger this ability. So you get this before you do this. So for example, if you wanted to get this card right here, but you didn't have 2 of the items, so say you had a weapon and 2 disguises, but you didn't have those 2, you'd immediately get that. So you would know you wouldn't need to move in the city to get those items, because you would come here and you'd be getting that on your turn.
So the circle there is just any resource?
Any resource.
Okay.
These are the 6 resources, so any
the
one of
basic
these.
resources or whatever. Yeah.
So you would get that. So that's how you want to try to build your time machine, either with action abilities or with constant abilities, so that eventually towards the end of the game, you're going to the city less and less, and you're just time traveling, using your abilities to do a lot of actions. Since you can take 3 moves, you have a possible turn later on in the game when you can go 1, 2, 3, and just take and get 3 events all at the same time, and really, so the end game can sneak up on you a little bit, so you do want to be paying attention to what everyone's kind of doing.
So you really got to make sure you have lots of these time gems.
Time gems or upgrades to make it cost
cheaper,
less, or abilities that give you the free thing. All right. That's the basic overview. Just going to go over how you move in the city and then how you move in the time machine, and then that's pretty much it. So in the city, you have to move to an adjacent city tile to the one you're on. You can't like jump around. And then you move 1, move 2, move 3. You'll perform the action as you go. So the move is move to the tile, perform the action. Okay? So it'd be 1, 2, 3. You cannot double back to the immediate one. So if you're here and you go 1, you can't immediately go back there. You could circle around on your turn and get back to that action.
Okay.
You just can't go like that.
So you can't hit it twice, you just can't double back.
You wouldn't be able to hit it
twice. Oh, because
twice.
you started there.
But you can take the action that you start on though.
Gotcha,
you just can't do
Yep.
the action you start on twice.
Gotcha.
The other thing you can't do is repeat it. You can't like jump up on the action.
Sure.
You gotta move to another action. You can go to a city tile that has another player on it on your turn. You can't end your turn where you're there. So you could go 1, 2, 3, but you can't go 1, 2, 3. That you can't do. Anywhere where the enforcer is, you can't land on that space.
Okay.
So when the enforcer is there, not only did they take actions that cause things to change or flip, but you also can't go to that location for that round.
Okay.
The enforcer cards are revealed at the end of the round or the start of the next round, so you know where they are going and you know what action they are going to take. And then they'll take it at the end of the round. Because you know where they're going, if you end up on that spot, so for example, if this was the next card and we knew that the enforcer was going to the archives and I ended my turn on the archives and then the enforcer went there, I'd have to skip my turn hiding from the enforcer until they're gone. So you want to pay attention to where the enforcer is going. So you want to know what the other Timelancers are doing, you want to know what the cops are doing, you want to try to do your own thing, collect your points, but stay out of jail kind of a thing.
Yeah.
When you go to your time machine, the only way to get to your time machine is to go from Timelancer headquarters. Think of it like your time machine is in Timelancer headquarters. You're getting in and out of your time machine. So first thing you have to go here is 1 move, you get your time gem. Second move, you move to any spot. So here it has to be adjacent, but coming from here to here, you can go anywhere you want. Then once you're in here, think of it like pushing buttons. You can go anywhere you want. The only thing you can't do in your time machine is the same thing twice. But you could double back. So if you started your turn here, you could go 1, 2, 3. You could do that in your time machine.
You can double back
In the time machine. You can also go 1, 2, 3. You can, again, you're getting in and out of, but technically you're still in the same
like area. Yeah.
Okay. Lee, is there anything oh, side jobs. All right, so not only do you have your faction goals to complete, but you also have side jobs. Here, I'll just show you mine. So you have side jobs that look like this. Oh, I have two of the same one.
Trade you.
There you go.
There we go.
But you don't know. Forget what I have.
All right, so you have side jobs. There's 4 of each type, so they sync up to the different types. And there's going to be Middle Ages, Modern, and Ancient. And then at the top is how many points. So in the game, your Timelancers, you're not really affected by time other than your history is changing, but you yourself are the same. So you're trying to work your way up the Timelancer hierarchy, so you're earning merits. That's what you're trying to do in the game, is earn your way up to be the best Timelancer. So these are merits. So if you achieve these, this is 1 merit, 2 merits, and the Ancient one, the one with A, would be 3 merits. So not only do you have to achieve your goals, but if you can sync it up, so for example, if these were my side jobs, you would accomplish these on the turn that you capture it, and you're always going to have to revise it. So if I had to revise the Middle Ages, if I were to get this card that's the Middle Ages, revise it and add it here, so these would be in my hand, they'd be secret. Once I do that, then I would reveal a Middle Age side job, and those would be there to the end of the game. Even if this flips or changes during the game, this would still be there.
That one doesn't undo like the other
Correct.
one. Yeah.
And these are just points at the end of the game.
Okay.
You can have 3 in your hand at a time, but you can accomplish as many as you want. You'll get more side jobs at this location. The gear symbol is the symbol for side jobs.
So if you can only hold 3, if I got a 4th one, do I discard one, or I cannot take the 4th one?
You take the 4th one, and then you discard from all of the cards in your hand.
Okay.
So if you have 3, you add it to your hand, and you can even discard an old one.
Entering the raffle? Oh, beauty! Right on. We'll write the number on the dry erase board, and then we're also giving away 5 saving accounts.
Yep, so a couple extra things.
Yep.
You can land on the same spot with everyone in Timelancer headquarters.
That one
So
allows for
if
other
we were all
people.
there,
So-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we all started on Timelancer headquarters at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
And then whenever you do capture an event, like let's say you capture an Ancient, you don't have to put it here. You put it anywhere you want, like this is your timeline, but make sure it's in sequential order then. So
From left to right, oldest event to more recent events.
So the
Okay.
reason you would do that is if some of these have action abilities and you're like, well, so this is a Middle Age, right? So in order to do this, I'll go here. And then like, you know what, my next move, I'm gonna flip a city tile. So as long as the rules make sense with the dates, my next move I'll go here, I'll pay, I'll do the move, and then I'll get, whatever that action
It's a way to
is.
pay fewer gems for the action rather
Yeah.
than having to put it way down
so
here
it's
and
like,
pay a lot.
It's
Correct.
like planning ahead, seeing the future.
Yes, so correct. So when you're placing the events on your time machine, like he was saying, the A doesn't have to go where the A is. The A could go way down here. However, because you have to put it in timeline order, if you get more modern events, you're going to end up having to shift this down as you add the events, because the other events will have to go to the right of the card and then shift it down. And once you place the card, you can't move it unless you have
Unless
to
it
move
push,
it
yeah,
from
it's
it.
forced.
If you have 2 cards together and one needs to go in between, you can choose
Which
which
way to push.
way to push.
So thematically,
So-
the Enforcer, right? Time travel is illegal. The Enforcer, so moves like this, he's going to revise. So when it gets to his turn, he's going to revise whatever the oldest. That's what this means. He's going to revise whatever the oldest is. And if we have yellows and it affects us, we're going to change it. He's trying to fix what we're changing. And then we're going to flip all the yellow tiles over because that's what normally happens whenever you revise something.
Okay.
So that's kind of his job.
But yeah, that's the basic thing. But yeah, we'll run through a couple turns just to show you how it goes. Like I'll describe what I'm doing, and then like I'll walk you through, and then he'll describe what he's doing, and then we'll see. Like just let you see what you can do.
Have at it. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And again, like this is probably 3 or 4 rounds in, and we were moving pieces around, so now it's not exactly set up. But so here I am. I have all these resources right now, and I have 3 time gems. So I have 1, 2, 3.
Max 10 resources.
Yeah, max 10 resources. You have the spots on there.
Yep, I
you
love
can have
the-
as many
the
money,
mustache.
time gems, and things as you want. All right, so my first turn, let's see, I have 2 guns, I have an A disguise, I get 2 when I go there. So let's see, I have a gun, I have the communicator, and I have that. So the scenario that I was talking about earlier, if I went here, I would be able to get that. So let me show you, I am yellow. So I'm gonna go here and get a time gem. So that's 1 move. Then I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna repeat this ancient. So I'm gonna which is going to be my second move. That's going to cost me 3 time gems to do that. So 1, 2, 3. Paid those, so now I turn these in.
Sure.
And then I'm going to get 2 items. So I'm going to get a disguise and a disguise. So if I have these, I'm going to get the disguise and the disguise. So now I have what I need to then get that item. So time gems, ability, perform the action. So I'm going to turn these in. Turn those in. I'm going to get this, and now I'm going to put this on my time machine. So chronologically, 250 or 2560 BC, I couldn't put this here. I have to put this here, but I could put this anywhere.
Sure.
It's the same kind of ability, and now I'm like, okay, well, I have the 2 ancient events that give me a lot of good points or good abilities from this. So I'm going to put this here. Maybe I'll go after some middle-aged events now in the future. So that's what I'm thinking. Now I went here, I'm kind of low on resources and time gems. Oh, sorry. You have to remember, every event that you get, you're gonna get money for as well. So it's on the side of the card here. So because I got this, I'll get $6. And it's very important to remember your money, otherwise you won't be able to buy more stuff. So I get the $6. And now I'm gonna go back to the city to end my turn for number 3. I'd get a time gem, and then that would be it. So 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
You want me to walk you through, or you want to try?
I think I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
So I have.
And then these, if I get a card in the middle of my turn, I don't reset it until the end of my turn.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. I kind of like that. So let's give this a shot. So I am this.
You're the green character.
This one right here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those are kind of hard for me to tell apart, but I can tell that looks like a girl and that looks like a guy. I have 1 gun, you have 2 guns. That checks out. So I'll go 1. We'll get one of these guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back to here and get 2 guns, right?
Correct.
So 2 guns, which are sorry, they look like better than I do. Boom, boom. But now I need to take a modern.
Yeah, so you're going to be repeating a modern event.
Um,
And it can be any color, and I know that you're on this side of the board, so it's hard to see all the way over there.
oh yeah, okay, yeah.
But it is all 4 colors that you would be looking at.
And the
It just
moderns
has to
would be
a
the ones
modern.
on the inside, right?
It's M, so it's all random.
Oh,
so
it's all
as you
random.
draw a new card,
Okay.
it could be
Earlier it was A's, MAs, and M's. So I thought it
randomness
just okay. I
happened
thought
to
it
be
was
that
just
way.
a.
So the distribution of the cards are there's 12 cards of each type currently in the prototype. We'll have stretch goals with the Kickstarter. But there are 12 cards of each type. There's going to be 3 ancients in each type. There's going to be 4 Middle Ages in each type, and there are going to be 5 moderns in each type.
Okay.
So that's the distribution if you're a card counting type person.
Sure, I try not to. Well, that kind of messed that up. That's okay. It's a learning game, right? So I think what I would, because I don't have any of these, right? Is that a separate
so
resource I
communicator.
don't have?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have separate
Yeah,
resources I
everything
don't
needs a
have.
camera or communicator for the
I was
most
looking
part.
at this guy, and that's
Yeah.
MA. I would have had to go here, which wouldn't have got me the guns I needed to take it. So, I suppose, where was I? I was up there.
Yeah, so you went 1, 2, so you'd be on your second turn right now. Which is where you went.
Shoot. All right. And it's a move to go back.
No, so if you're, so you wouldn't have been able to do
Take
that.
the gun action. That's fine. Okay, I'll
Because
take
so
that.
you still would have been on move 1
Right,
if
1.
you went there.
And then I can go 2 to get the movie cameras that I need.
Is
Right.
that the space that he started from? Where did he start
Yeah.
from? Okay, so no, you wouldn't be able to double back.
What?
You
Oh, it's a double. It's still a double back.
Yeah,
even
so
though I haven't
if you
gone
started
there.
here, it'd be
Yeah.
So we just kind of rewound.
Sure,
the
sure,
reset.
sure.
So you kind of started here. So
Okay,
if
so
we
let me just start
rewind
there
it,
and then
yeah.
start over.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'm on the space I need.
Or, I mean, that one, or if you were looking at this one earlier,
Oh, the
that is right
communicators?
here. So you
Okay.
could go 1, 2, 3, and then on your next turn.
Right.
then
Or
you have
I
it.
think I might just go 1, 2. Or I should go 1, 2, 3. And that'll give me $1.
$1.
Yep, and then I'll spend
You
a
pay
$1.
$2, just
and
one.
$1. And get
then
2
you get-
communicators. And then moving
There's
there
one
gets me a
communicator
gem.
right
Oh, is that
now.
one communicator? Sorry, yep.
And then 1 time gem. Is
One time gem.
There you go.
Yeah, there
and
we
then
go.
on your next turn,
I can come
then
over
you
here.
could do exactly what you just did.
Gotcha.
And you'd be
I'd be better
golden.
off.
Assuming that Lee or I don't get that one before it gets
Before
back
then
to
and
you.
now.
But you know it's not going to be the enforcer because the enforcer's going to take a yellow card.
Okay.
I'll go to archives, get an attaché, hospital, get a med kit, and then laboratory transports me.
All right, so the laboratory city tile,
like a warp.
you can transport. On this
Okay.
side is transport. You physically move when it's part of the same turn. So it's 1, and then take the action where you go. The other side is just copy. You stay there and you just copy in the city tile. Transport is to a city tile. You can't transport to your time machine.
Okay.
And then this symbol that he passed by right there, that's the reset. So if you see these cards, you're like, you know what? I don't like any of these cards. I want to reset it. On this side, it's choose 1 card to put at the bottom of the deck and draw a new one. On the other one, you reset all 3. You choose
nice.
the color that you want.
Oh, and it even says what's on the other side over here. I
It's
like that.
The little thing
Yeah.
to show you so that you know
So
what's going to
so
be
you're not
on
like
the
constantly,
inside.
what's on the back side? What's
Yeah.
on the back side?
Correct.
It's on there. Yeah, that's good.
And then you can see the colors, but then 2 of them right now. This one is blue on one side and green. So depending on which side is flipping, it may flip less or more often depending.
Okay.
And then the capital, which is right here, is red and yellow. A couple of the other city tiles that we're looking at for stretch goals and expansions and stuff will also have other color combinations as well.
Okay.
All right, so Lee just finished his turn.
Yep.
So now we're going to do the enforcer. So the enforcer is on a revise action. So we're going to find the oldest yellow card, which is the social event, which is that. No one has any yellow cards, so it's not going to affect us right this second. And then normally you would flip them or rotate your cards, but we are going to flip the yellow city tiles. So now it's on the other side. Then the enforcer will go to the archives, and then we'll draw a new enforcer card. So at the end of this round, what's going to happen is the enforcer will go to the courthouse, but only the courthouse will flip. So we won't do the revise action, it's just going to flip the courthouse.
Okay.
And when you're looking at this, there's a little 2+ here. You
Player
use
count?
the 2 different types
Oh.
in the multiplayer game. In a solo game, you wouldn't have these cards. You would just have those cards. And instead of putting the card at the bottom of the deck, you would set it aside, and that's the enforcer's point total. So the
Okay.
enforcer counts the revised side points, and then you're playing your game to try to beat the score of the enforcer.
Nice.
So that's how the solo works.
Okay.
All right. So now it's back on my turn, and I am there, and I am still revising, so that should be there. Sorry about that. Let's see. I should go after a blue one. That one seems pretty good. So I'm going to go to. I am yellow. 1. I'm going to get an upgrade 2, and then come to the Taylor 3. So 2, 3, 4, $5 is what I owe. I'm going to pay the 5, and I paid for the communicator, an upgrade, and a disguise. So communicator, disguise, and upgrade. When you get the upgrade, you immediately have to place it. And now I'm thinking in my head, okay, well, I'm going to go after that one over there, so it's going to be a modern. I'm going to revise it, so I'm going to put it here, knowing that I'm going to be heading there. And then that
Be
would
a
be my
shame
turn.
if someone got it before you did.
Yeah, it would be
Modern, you say, huh?
Got him. That's his misdirection. He's not really going for that.
All right, so now it's
So
my
now it's
turn.
the back on your turn.
All right, so let's do what I was trying to do before. We'll come here, woo, drop my piece to here.
No cost for time gems.
No cost for time
You get your
gems.
2
Big
guns.
fan of that.
Get your 2 guns.
Get my 2 guns. I like guns. And then,
Now you have lots of options,
yeah, a lot more options.
or at least
I like big money
2
in.
options.
How you doing?
And I'm guessing this is that's gonna be an instant effect. And this is pay 1 less attaché whenever I do things.
Correct.
That sounds good. And the moderns over there.
So the one over there that I was looking at, but you could probably also look at, so that's an action ability. You'll get a weapon and a disguise when you land it. And how you just got 2 weapons, that one's
Yeah.
a weapon and a disguise.
Okay.
And then the other modern, which I don't think you can get because you don't have a
I don't have
camera,
a
the
camera.
JFK one, that
Yeah.
one's just 2 disguises.
But then also remember your faction goals. That should also be
Right,
guiding.
yeah, I need the culture
So-
card. So I'm thinking about this guy here. So it's modern, it's got the culture, and I want it not revised.
Yeah, you want
Right.
to repeat it. You already have one repeated, so if you get this, you'll be meeting your goal as well,
Yeah.
too.
So I think I'm going to take this guy, and I will pay a gun, a communicator, and a disguise.
Correct.
Yeah, we are by eBay.
And then you just put that in
timeline order. So it's going to be like here,
And
basically.
remember, you don't have to play it there.
Right,
You can play
but
it anywhere.
if I want to take, it's an Infinity Award too.
So it's infinity, but now also think, if it rotates the other side, where would you want that ability? So that's also what you have to think about, is there may be times when it rotates and you may get a time lock when you land on it. So maybe you do want it there, or maybe you do want it there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Right now
let's go
it's
here.
not important, but if it does rotate, it could be helpful, and you may be unexpecting that.
Right.
Oh, thanks for the help.
Yeah. Okay. So I go here. That was one action,
Only
right? And so then if I
You
wanted
get
to, I could go
$4.
here. Oh yeah, I get the
$4.
$4. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, $4. $4.
Okay. Then if I wanted to, I could jump to one of these guys.
You can go, so you have enough time gems, you can take any action, it's just you need to have the resources to pay for it. So if there's another thing that you could pay for, like this military or like that one, you can then go and revise something. So you need to revise the science. So if you want, I normally wouldn't have told you what I was going after, but if you wanted to get that one that I was going after, you could afford it right now.
He doesn't
I don't have
a
another
camera
communicator.
Oh, you don't have another communicator.
Correct.
Never mind, strike what I said.
Yeah. X-nay on that A. Yeah, so I think what I'll do then is I need to go out and gather resources. And from here, the only place that I can go is back to headquarters. So that was 1, 2, and I'll go 3 to here. And then I'll pay 2. Okay.
Very good.
And pass turn.
It's like,
And I can always buy this guy too, right?
That's always available to you.
Always available to me for an NA
No one
action.
can take that from you. It's there for you.
Okay.
And it's not going to hurt you at the end of the game if you don't get it.
Gotcha.
All right, now Lee's good to go.
all right, I'm in headquarters. I'm going to go to my time machine. I'm going to reserve event.
You can.
I don't need it. Well, I mean, it's not that great for me.
We would have reset this at the end of your turn.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Need something yellow.
There's no, you never see our
Yellow. Yeah. I'll take this. So it doesn't cost anything. No time gems to reserve. I get 2 side jobs.
Oh yeah.
Sorry guys, I'm a tech guy. I'm kind of actually looking at you guys' setup.
So the side jobs are always going to be a revised action. So you know that if you ever repeat something, then you wouldn't be completing a side job. But if you go to revise something, you want to try to go after one.
One.
Yeah, don't cheat yourself.
Help me.
You've already done it. I won't give you the whole
So 2. Yeah. Can you hand me Shakespeare? All right, so I'm repeating this. 1 time
Repeating
gem.
it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go there. All right, and I get $3. So that's 2. And 3.
Reset.
Reset.
All right, so now he's going to the courthouse, so that's going to flip over. And then you're going
That's the
to
fun thing is like,
move that. and then we're going to reveal a new one. So it's going to be the hospital. So this is a revised action. So at the end of this round, the enforcer is going to cause things to
He's going to revise this.
revise. So I am going to once again check my side jobs.
Just put the number up. You got the whole weekend.
And so just a quick time check. Do you want to finish this round and then we can just talk, or what's your normal format of what you
I think
normally
we're
do?
doing okay. Like we can go a little bit more, like another round
Okay.
if you want to.
Up to you.
Yeah. It's interesting. I want to see if I can do what I think I can do.
All right.
So I am once again the yellow character. Got to remember that. 1, getting a time gem. 2. All right. So now I'm going to come in here. Oh, I put it on the wrong spot. See, I wasn't thinking correctly. Oh, well, I'll come here then instead. Do what I was originally thinking. I'm going to revise a modern. It's going to cost me 1 time gem, and I am going to go after the blue one. Yep, that one. I'm going to pay the disguise and the communicator, and this is 1898 blue. I don't think anyone else has a blue right now, and I can put this anywhere. So
You're welcome. I hope you win.
I need to get, so that's good. That's pay 1 less. That's good. So I'm going to do this, put this here. So 1, 2. It's my second action. I met this goal. I'm going to go there.
So since you revised that card, it flipped all those.
All the blue city tiles, and it would have rotated cards if there were blue cards that were more recent. The 1, 2, and then I'm going to go here and rotate a card. So I'm going to pay the time gem for that. 1. I'm going to get a time lock. 2. And then I'm going to rotate. Let's see. I want to pay less time gems. I'm going to rotate that one. Oh, nope, don't want to rotate that one. I need to be revising it. So I'm going to rotate this one, pay 1 less, constant. And I get $3 for having captured that. And that would be my turn.
So that refills, right?
Yep.
It is a middle-age invention of the eyeglasses. $12.90.
Okay. I only have 1 gun. So that buys that. And everything else takes more stuff. I need another one of those. I don't have one of those. I don't have. That is just too bad. Oh, I can buy more guns though. Everybody likes more guns. Yes. Oh no, but I won't have enough actions. I want to be 1 action shy, I think.
Where'd you go?
We're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna see what happens here. So I'll go here
Okay.
and pay $1.
To get some guns.
Get some guns. If only they were so cheap.
Florida, we're used to those prices.
Yeah. I know anybody can carry them. You don't have to tell anybody. And then I will come back. 'Cause I can't even move through that space, right?
Right, because the enforcer is
Yep,
there.
that's what I thought. So I'll
That's
come
what we give away in Florida when we go to conventions.
Yeah. Welcome to the convention. Here's your free gun. So I get another gem, right? But I need much more of them. And then I will come through here. Whoop. And I'm going to get a yellow, what is that one? Modern event. So I might as well.
Revising, or are you repeating it?
I want to revise it.
Okay, so you'll be taking that action.
This one here?
Correct.
Okay. Oh, because it's the revised.
The revised side of it.
Gotcha.
So it's going to cost you 2 time gems.
That I've got. Okay. So it's the revised side. 1963 has to go at the end somewhere.
All right, so we're flipping the yellow ones. No one else has a yellow card yet.
No, that was my 3rd action. 1,
Correct.
2, 3.
And he got his money.
How much money was that? $3?
$3.
Okay, we should do a pre-show.
Yes, sir.
All hands on deck.
Okay. And that's it.
And the money, we do have 1s and 5s, so if you get slowed, then you can just make
Sure.
change and
That's fair.
take a 5. And then at the end of the game, every $5 is worth 1 point.
Cool.
I was starting to stop this.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I don't think I paid my. Did I pay you my resources for that? I don't think I did. A gun and a camera, yes.
Sorry, gonna put that closer to you. So these are prototype trays. Game Trays is designing the insert
Nice.
and the pull-out tray. So it's going to be a bottom insert and then some pull-out trays. Game Trays also designed the 4 characters. So our artist Harry Bui, he designed all the artwork, and then we had Sterling Little who did the city tile artwork. And then we gave them the character designs to Game Trays, and they actually created the 3D pieces that you see. Like these are just obviously big versions of them.
Right.
But so they put all the detail in, they took the design and they made them. So very pleased with what came out with that. So can't speak highly enough of that. They're also working on a new Enforcer piece for us as well too. So it's not going to be the little card. It's going to be a little bust of what the Enforcer looks like.
Okay.
Did you take? I'm sorry, we skipped your. Did you do your actions?
I did.
Okay. So we're going to get the oldest red card, which is going to be this ancient, the Battle of Red Cliffs. So it's going to rotate all red cards that come after 209. 209.
So this one here, but I can spend this, right?
You could turn that in to not rotate. Lee's also rotating. So he has to remove his end goal, so he's no longer meeting that. So we're going to put this at the bottom, and then we will draw a new card. Flip the city tiles yet?
I did.
You did?
Oh, wait. The reds? No, I didn't.
Okay. Flip these. And then he will go to the hospital, which is next to Lee. We'll draw that. That's all right. And next will be green. So next one, the ancient, is going to be chess. So 550, all green.
Everything newer than that.
Is going to be flipping. Still keep going? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I'm still good on my end. Let's see. One thing that as the game goes on and you start gaining more things, you start to look at, okay, well, I only have 3 resources, but I have all these abilities. Can I get anything before I move? So you want to stop and look and see what's available to you. Now, I only have 1 time gem, so really I can only do that, but I pay 1 less. So I do like that. And I need a yellow. Nope, I need a red. So let's see, I can afford this. So because I don't even have to leave now, I can come here, revise a modern, pay the 1 time gem. I pay 1 less, it's an ongoing ability. And then I'm going to pay the gun, and I'm going to revise. So my pay 1 less is the communicator, and I'm paying the gun. And I'm revising this red. So 1944 red, I think that's probably more modern than all of yours. I'm going to put it down here, and I'll get $3. So that's my first move. So I always like to remind people, as you get your abilities, you want to be like, oh, can I afford something without even thinking about it? 2,
I just got to get over to that side.
and that, and then 3, we will, where's the Enforcer going? Surveillance? So I don't want to go there. So I'll go to the Tailor and pay 1. Okay, now it'd be
Okay. So I need. I can pay. That is a MA. Okay, and I can't do this,
correct.
right? So I have to go somewhere else and then do something.
And the place you go could be Timelancer headquarters. So you could go get a gem and come back. You don't need gems, but if you can't do
Fantastic.
or don't want to do any of the other
Yeah,
actions,
I don't really
you
think
can
I
always
want
go
to
back to
do
headquarters.
any of the other actions. Well, this just lets me
Rotate if you need to
rotate. Yeah, I don't need to rotate. So I'm just going to go back and gain a gem and then come back to here and spend that gem and this gem.
Okay.
And then, actually, it's this one. I guess I didn't need to go back, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'll spend my other gem here.
Okay.
That's an MA card, I believe I saw down there.
Oh yeah, there's 2
All the
Middle
way,
Ages.
all the way, yeah,
and
that
an
one there.
ancient.
So when I do this, I'm going to be paying 1 briefcase less. So my this, and these 2, which revises this, 1290.
1290 blue. So that's gonna rotate mine. We're gonna rotate those. So I'm no longer meeting my goal. So you messed up my goal there.
And that does this.
And he has started the end game.
Yep.
Yeah.
You didn't happen to have a middle-aged blue side job, did you?
Totally do.
Oh, no, that's green,
Middle age?
but it's green.
Oh, blue. Nope, sure don't.
Almost though.
Almost. I was close.
All right, so Lee's gonna take his turn, and then that's the end of the
You
game.
get your money?
Totally. $3, please. Actually, I'll take a $5. How about that?
And then we'll add up the points, and we'll see
See if
what
I
the
manage to
outcome
win.
was.
Yeah.
1,
Thank
2.
I think you have a good shot. Let's see what Lee does.
I mean, I took three of the 8 turns you guys took.
Still,
Thanks for
you,
for
you
winning.
still,
I
you
chose
still,
the right
you still
seat.
got the right. Yeah, you could have
Get the handle of it though.
randomly went around and not done anything. So you took what was given to you and you made something
Made
out
the
of
best
it.
out of it. Hopefully,
There you
we'll
go. We'll see if he accomplishes, if he
Yes.
captures and gets a side job.
The enforcer messed me up. Just messed me up. All right.
I think the enforcer's gonna mess you up again too, because it's gonna flip your green one.
Ugh.
So you're gonna lose your goal there.
Hurts. That's my third move. I might as well get the 5 points than protect, I guess. And I get $3.
That was your third move?
That was my third move. I revised the yellow.
All right, so at the end, the enforcer still goes, so you're locked, so you're set, but I'm not and Lee isn't. So we're gonna look at the oldest, which is 550. 550 green, which doesn't affect me, but it is gonna affect Lee. So he had to do that and he lost his goal. Obviously you'd put that in reset, but it's the end of the game, so we're just gonna leave that.
Okay.
Now what we're gonna do is look at points. So the first thing you're gonna do is count up the points on your events touching your time machine. So it's you're gonna look at, correct?
Right. 21.
So 7, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right, you're gonna look at your side jobs. I didn't accomplish any side jobs. Lee,
Yeah, I got 2.
Lee got 2 side jobs. Then you're gonna look at your goals. I get 2 points for that. You're gonna get 8 points for that. So each one is 2 points.
Nice.
So you're at 29.
29.
So I'm at 23. Then you're gonna count up your upgrades. 24, 25. I'm at 25.
30.
Then you're gonna every $5. 26, 27.
32.
Time locks. 28.
Nope.
Nope. And then every 3 resources. 29.
Nope.
All right, so 29.
32.
28.
Still ended up being close, but
Nice.
you won. You
Cool.
pulled it off.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
So there you go. And then that's how it would
That's
play
how
out.
it finishes out. I think it's really interesting how like you go back and you're collecting these events. As long as you don't mess with it, everything stays the same. But as soon as you revise something, anything after that, it's getting revised too. It's gonna flip. It's gonna change. Like that. It's a real neat way to do the timeline and flow with everything.
So,
Yeah.
and then one of the things that we really like, so we know that sometimes take that, it's kind of like a bad word in the gaming, but we actually don't mind take that game. So we're like, well, how can we make it so that it's your goal of what you're doing, but it's still a chain reaction. You can still affect, you still
Other
get that
people.
player interaction
Yeah.
without, I'm not like targeting you, I'm just achieving my goal. You happen to be the byproduct, and you got
Yeah.
caught in the crossfire
Yeah,
kind of a thing.
part of the butterfly
and we
effect.
can still
Sorry.
kind of have that, and so you get that player interaction. And then you throw in the enforcer who's not really targeting anyone, it's just luck, but you know
Right.
what's going to happen.
Right. You get a
So
chance to react
sometimes you
to
can
it.
play to it. Like for example, if you know that, all right, this is going to revise,
Right.
it's cheaper to repeat it, I'll repeat it, and he'll revise it for me. So sometimes you can play to the enforcer
Okay.
as you're going because you know what's going to be happening.
Right. Nice.
And that's the game. Again, in the solo, you do the same thing, only at the end, you'd count up all the points from the enforcer, and then you'd see if you beat the enforcer.
Cool. Yeah, it's super neat. And so you guys plan on doing like wooden bits maybe? Or
Yeah, so
it
these
kinda
are going to be
depends?
wooden bits that we're working on. So everything cardboard, obviously the game
Yep.
tray insert. Not this mat, but we are going to have a neoprene mat come standard.
Okay.
So it's going to come in the box. Our goal is
You
to
gonna fit in the box?
Exactly. That's our thing. We buy and we back a lot of Kickstarter.
Yeah,
And we're always like, oh, we
same.
got this, and it's like, oh, we have this great game, and we have a mat. And it's like, well, I want to take the game with me, but I can't take the mat or whatever.
Right,
So,
yeah, pain in the
our
butt.
goal is, it's going to roll up and it's going to fit in the box. So it's going to fit in the calyx size box. So that's
Nice.
our. We're like,
good goal.
we understand the
Right,
the
games by gamers.
the first world gamer problems. We
Yeah.
understand it, so we're like, okay.
first world colorblind problem. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I do have a hard time with this green and red. Right
Okay.
now, it does have this little icon on here that I was like looking for. The green and blue, I have not a hard time, but like when you're flipping these guys over and you're saying, oh, he's going to revise the greens, and I'm trying to look on here, I guess you had the little icon on there. It was a little hard for me to see, but yeah, that's really hard to tell apart.
Okay.
I don't know if you could saturate the red more,
Okay.
make the grind limier, like a limier green maybe, or
Okay.
something, but like,
We
it's
can
a
definitely
little
look at
tough.
that. Yeah. Yeah, we were definitely, that's why we included symbols everywhere. We know
Yeah,
that they're
yeah. Icons are
smaller,
good.
but we tried to have the symbols everywhere. That is the other thing too, is we've also been working on, that's one thing we're testing right now at Gen Con, is we're in the first exposure playtest stall.
Yeah.
Is we were here last year and we had a lot more English. We still have flavor text on here, but
Sure.
we've eliminated, like these used to be written out in English, but now
Ah.
we've created symbols for everything.
Right.
Because we're working on a German translation and
Yeah.
the French.
Okay.
We've had a request for Spanish, so we're
Nice.
looking at different ones. So we want the game to be as easy as possible.
language, yeah.
Where all you need is the PDF of the rule book in your language,
Right.
and then you could still back this. So when we had the Kickstarter, you could still back it and play it in your language. So
Cool. Yeah, that's good
really
too.
what we're testing right now, is
Right.
all the symbols, and
Yeah.
they're kind of intuitive for what you're kind of going for.
Right. And then this is cool too, how it's like, well, that event happens here, so you start moving them around a little bit and filing them in timeline order, because it's still kind of happening at that same time. But then, yeah, whether it's the same or it's triggered, or it's really neat.
And then, so on the advanced side, what would happen is you'd need to collect more events, obviously.
Okay,
so
yeah.
it's all 9, so you'd end up filling up your time machine.
Okay.
In the advanced side, if
And
you
trying to
fill
get
up your time
everything
machine,
flipped the right way.
correct. If you want to get other symbols that have better abilities, like for example, oh, I like this ability, but I don't need it,
Yeah.
you can get it, and then the advanced one, you just replace it as you go. So
Okay,
you can
if you
get
need
the
to
one,
replace one, you
but you
can.
still need to meet to start the end game.
Requirements. Okay.
And you can also get more to keep getting more side jobs. The other thing that happens in the advanced version is when you do the rotate, if you rotate it to revise, you cause the chain reaction. And you might be thinking, oh, that's going to cause a lot. But actually what happens is when you have more cards, so you have to fill up your timeline, it's like, well, so this one's messed up, I need this one too. Or like if it's like this one's messed up, I need to revise this one. You can revise this one, and that does it for you. So you can actually kind of plan and choose. So if you plan it in the right order, this in the advanced version can actually help you a lot more
Okay.
too. So we have a couple of different ways of playing it and a lot of different ways of looking at it. So beginners, it's not super complicated to teach. Under 60 minutes once you know how to play.
Right.
Plus there's an advanced version about 75 to 90 minutes for people who are looking for something a little bit more.
Crunchier, yeah.
And there's a solo that I'm really happy with how the solo came out.
Yeah.
And there's a tabletop simulator out right now available. So if you already have that, you can get it. You can find it on our website. So if anyone wants to play it right now, it's all available. So there's a solo version specifically, and we have the multiplayer available too.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Timelancers. If you like what you see here, check them out on Tabletop Simulator and
Timelancers.com
Yeah.
and our Kickstarter in October.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks,
Sign up
guys.
for our email list if you want to find out when we're actually launching on our firm date.
There you go. All right. Thank you.